Since the start, I've sat just here in my wooden chair, perfectly curved behind and beneath me. Like the loom, it's rich and chestnut brown in colour, worn smooth to the touch from an eternity of service. I move my shuttle from one side of the tapestry to the other so quickly and skillfully, it looks even to me as though it moves with a will of its own. The hem of my dress sways slightly round my ankles and does not quite conceal my hardened bare feet as they work the pedals quietly and gently. With these small movements, my loom is brought to life and gives life. The threads rise and fall before me with soft clicks, and I feed more through, gleaming and gossamer thin, every pass of the shuttle. This is my motion, a focused, quiet dance of creation. I breathe deeply and regularly, tasting the salty air. My fingers never stop moving, and I listen to the sound of the sea. It's further away than it used to be. I remember, so strange now I can look back and remember how the water used to creep up, foamy, almost to the edge of the loom and then retreat. Now we draw less from it every day. Urd, my sister, draws out what we need from the ocean, but now its retreat is stronger than the pull even she can exert upon it. To my left I feel Urd's presence. We do not speak, but I feel her always, sitting beside me. I rarely move my eyes away from my weaving, but now I turn to watch her. She's grown so old since last I looked. Her hair is grey and her skin is crinkled. Her fingers are as gnarled as the roots of the ancient tree that shelters us. Tiredness hangs from the dark of her eyes as she makes her waves, pulling tendrils of light from the water. She sings softly to herself as she draws a magical glow from the sea, spinning it into sleek threads to pass into my hands. I gaze at her broad and broken shoulders. She's become hunched and rounded over, heavy with time and memory. Urd has been here forever and she forgets nothing. My sister. I'm strangely touched by a need to reach out to her. For the briefest time, my desire to give her comfort is as strong as her yearning for rest. But my hands are full. We both continue our work, her at the spinning wheel and I at the loom. High above my head, I hear the leaves rustle so gently as they are stroked by the cold breeze. I feel the motion of my body as my feet move under this cloth. I watch my shuttle glide from one edge to the other. I see every weft and warped thread gleam under the stars. I hear the soft, flickering noise of my sister's wheel, turning, and the whispered sounds of her feet, circled by the last snake of fibres drawn from the sea, working her pedals. Her movements are far slower than my own. The past is heavy, quiet, and calm. I've always felt closest to Urd. At my right stands my younger sister, Skuld, the prophetess, the warrior. Time has not worn away at her as it has at Urd, because it never reaches her. Skuld is tall and strong and still young. Her long hair hangs over her shoulders, sometimes her face, in waves and knots. Starlight glints off the knife that hangs from her plaited leather belt. She keeps the knife razor sharp for when she needs to cut knots or threads from the cloth I weave. She also uses it to cut runes and sigils into the dirt at the foot of the tree, trying to understand the futures she's shown. A sheen not far from madness can be seen in her pale eyes. She never sits down. Her energy is boundless and she stands, she paces, she chatters, she reads the fates I have not yet woven. She screeches into the emptiness for the pain and the delight of threads our sister has not yet made. She sees all things before they come to pass. Spooning water from her bowl of brushed copper, pouring it onto the bark of the tree to read the future. She watches how the droplets run and fall. They tell her all her secrets, and with her chattering she does not keep them. I learned long ago to filter out the sound of her voice. Futures were never important to me, and in any case waters change their course over and over. Skuld has foreseen everything that ever happened, but she also knows everything that could have happened. Many a glimpsed fate that seared itself into her never actually came to pass. I wonder for the first time how she feels about that. Unfulfilled destinies do not age or tire her, yet I can see she is wounded in her foretelling. The future is as heavy a burden as the past. It is the crackling fuel beneath the surface that sustains her wildness.